Mr Killian has come out with more vomitous spew from his rather disgusting mind, which I now want to address. If you are not interested in this, click away now. The reason for making this video, against the better judgment of others who advise me not to feed the trolls, is because I think this will demonstrate the guy for the fucked up, egotistical, insane, hypocritical and disgusting asshole that he is. His accusations against me are nothing more than a deliberate attempt to smear my character for no real reason other than to inflate his own ego. I think he sees me as some sort of a threat, although he will deny this. The comments in question are linked in the video below, and I have taken screen captures of them, in case he tries to do anything fucking funny. First of all, let's take a look at the definition of homophobia. Homophobia is a range of negative attitudes and feelings towards homosexuality or people who are identified or perceived as being lesbian, gay, bisexual or transgendered. Definitions refer variably to antipathy, contempt, prejudice, aversion, irrational fear and hatred. In a 1998 address, author, activist and civil rights leader Coretta Scott King stated that homophobia is like racism and anti-Semitism and other forms of bigotry, and that it seeks to dehumanize a large group of people to deny their humanity, their dignity and personhood. Homophobia is observable in critical and hostile behavior such as discrimination and violence on the basis of sexual orientations that are non-heterosexual. So basically, he's accusing me of hating, being in fear of, and or otherwise being intolerant of homosexuality. This claim is complete and utter bollocks, but the basis of this claim goes back to my use of a specific expression. Context, however, is not something that Mr Killian seems to understand, and the reason for this became apparent in the last series of abusive messages that we exchanged with each other. Yes, I was abusive to Mr Killian. I do not apologise for that. He deserves nothing less for his hypocritical attitude and behaviour, and more examples of this follow now. According to Mr Killian, you are a racist if you refer to Japanese people as Japs because at one time it used to be considered racist terminology. Similarly, according to Mr Killian, you are a homophobe if you use the expressions such as "that's so gay" as a euphemism for "that's stupid," regardless of what you as an individual are actually thinking. And yet, referring to people as butt buddies is not considered homophobic because, well, yeah, women have butts too. For fuck's sake. The phrase butt buddies can, and has been used, to refer to a group of men who engage in having sex with each other in the ass. I've heard it used this way many times over the course of my life, and I think it's rather derogatory from a homosexuality point of view. Trying to further smear my character by telling me, and I'm paraphrasing here, that if you had ever managed to find a woman who would ever take her clothes off for you, which I doubt you ever will, you would realise that women have butts too, further compounds your bigotry against non-libertarians, as well as a complete and total ignorance of the fact that the expression butt buddies has, and to this day continues to be used, as a disparaging term against homosexuals regardless of whether women have asses or not. Now, is it possible for a woman to engage in sexual intercourse anally? Yes, they can, but you don't hear people referring to a married, cohabiting, steady or even casual heterosexual couple as butt buddies. Yet you do hear it used as a derogatory term when referring to male homosexual couples. This is not news. This has been happening for decades. Interestingly, the Urban Dictionary also states that the expression can also be used to refer to male bikers who ride on the backs of other male bikers for anything other than an emergency. But if Mr Killian wants to ignore the Urban Dictionary when smearing my character with his bullshit fucking accusation of my being homophobic, then it stands to reason that anyone can ignore the Urban Dictionary when it comes to this definition too. Therefore, the only colloquially used phrasing of the phrase butt buddies is as a homophobic epithet against men who like to nail each other in the ass. You cannot have it both ways, Mr Killian. I will not allow it. I've never seen a worse case of special pleading outside of fundamentalist Christianity in my life. It simply highlights the offensive and hypocritical double standard of the guy, but it also underscores the obvious and insurmountable fact that Mr Killian thinks he can do absolutely no wrong whatsoever. If my use of the phrase circle jerk as a syllogism for people who engage in the congratulatory ego boosting that attempts to show everyone in the room that you are the smartest persons present is homophobic no matter what I was actually thinking at the time I used the phrase, then butt buddies as a syllogism for sycophant is just as homophobic for the same reason that it has been used to disparage against homosexual people in the past. And if you want to say that, oh, well, no, it's not homosexual, no, not homophobic actually, because, well, yeah, women have butts too, then I can just as easily say that heterosexual men can, and in some cases have, engaged in a circle jerk. And believe it or not, so have women. So it's not exclusive to homosexual people either. I really do find it distasteful, sickening, and fucking psychotic that a guy would seek to try to seriously opine that I'm homophobic for use of a particular phrase, and in doing so belittle the trauma that gay people have to go through from those who truly are homophobic. It is the same sort of conduct where someone accuses you of being a rape apologist if you say, well, women like rape fantasies too, despite the fact that many do, and in doing so, you render the term rape apologist meaningless when it comes to groups like True Forced Loneliness, and of course Onision, and other apologists for rape. So fuck your continued accusations of homophobia, you fucking cunt, and stop trying to tell me what I am thinking. It is not your fucking place to do so, you arrogant, egotistical fucking know-it-all. That is all.